now by quarterback Malcolm Greene. You'll fire away with questions.
Malcolm, walk us through that strip play with you and Fred Davis. Just what did you see on that play, and just walk us through that.
So surely we were in a man call, and I saw that they were in a stack alignment into the boundary, and we had the nickel traveling in that situation, and I knew that my man Fred was up front. He was going to be aggressive on the stack, so it wouldn't be too hard for me to match any route that the back man comes out with. And I saw him break on his route, and once I got out of my break and I got in phase, I looked back and saw the quarterback had intention to throw it, and I just knew only good could come from this at that time.
What do those kind of plays mean for the defense to be able to respond when Furman strikes and they moving the ball down the field? Maybe whether it's goal line stand, Barrett Carter gets an interception, your play right there. What does it mean for that group that, hey, we're going to respond with our best punch?
It means a lot, man, just knowing that we can bring a big group of guys to come together and have that energy and just build a momentum in a situation where we're down in plus territory for Furman and they are on the way to score a touchdown. So to know that we got guys that can stand up and bring momentum plays, turnovers into that situation is very big, and it'll be very big for this team.
Malcolm, what do you think this defense has to work on after the Furman game?
Just definitely keeping a level head, but we know who we have in the room, and we definitely just gonna work on getting better each day and throughout each practice, and trying to elevate each of our games and make sure that we are looking at the little things and just having a laser focus in on each responsibility, each play, and not getting too clouded about what's going on around us.
I mean, obviously, you don't want to give up like 10 of 18 third downs to any team, or 386 yards to a team. What does that say to you guys about where you are? Are these just errors that are correctable, or is it going to take a little time to get where you want to be?
I feel like this past weekend, those are definitely fixable mistakes. And I feel like it's something that we can grow from, just to learn like some weaknesses that we had in that game and vulnerable moments that we had, knowing that we can come together and fight back and learn from it and take the coaching from the coaches and learn the little things about defenses that'll just elevate us all as players, understanding the framework and what offenses want to do versus what we can provide. So I feel like that was a great learning moment for all of us.
I think Brooks said just even coming off the field, like he immediately knew the things that weren't quite right. I mean, did you come off the field with the same kind of feeling? Or?
Yeah, I definitely did. I saw, like, on a lot of those screenplays that they ran, it was just, he was wide open by himself. And with the coverages that we got, all of our guys in the back seven has to know the responsibility of everybody. So to see a guy wide open in a zone that somebody should be on him, it was really rough, but we know that we have the guys in the room that love to step up and love adversity like we saw last year. It's a group that love to fight back and just grow from places like this past weekend, just develop and be a better team.
I think Louisiana Tech put up 50-plus points this past weekend. I guess you guys see that? Do you anticipate kind of a high-powered offense this weekend?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Louisiana Tech's offense a lot and how they run it. I saw they played one of our former teammates, Joseph Charleston, my guy, and he had some good plays versus them. And we plan on making some also. Like, you just want to come out there and make sure that we have a great focus for this game, and then we understand that this is the next game and that's our biggest game. And we just got to dominate each play and come together as a defense and work with the coaches.
Malcolm, when you see some other upsets in the top 10 like we had last week, does that kind of catch your eye and just kind of fire you guys up not to want to be part of that group down the road?
Yeah, it definitely catches my eye a little bit. Like, everybody sees, like, when you see a team like Notre Dame have what they had went on, like, you see things like that going on in the country, but you just have to have an understanding that we got to have a huge focus towards every single week, and we got to practice hard every single day. Like, we can't take any day lightly as a group, and the coaches do a great job of harping that on us, because you might think one game might not be a big game because of the name of the team, but you lose that game, you'll see how big of a game it is. And like, everybody just has to learn from the things that's going on around us, like in the country, and just try to make sure that we have a great focus on what we're doing.
How is the secondary kind of bonded together? You lost a couple of really good players from last year, but How's this maturing and melding process for you guys going?
I feel like it's been really good. It's a great level of maturity across our group. A lot of older guys that played, got some plays up under their belt, started a couple games, and just guys that we know what we can do and we know what we can provide to a defense, and we all just love working together, and we love this team. We love our teammates, and we don't want to let each other down in any way on the field. So just love those guys.
How helpful is it for you in the secondary to have such an elite D line?
It's big. Like, the group that we got is like no other. Like, those guys, they put the work in, and everybody sees the product that they put out on the table every week in and week out. And those are guys that they've done it, like, for years in this level of play. But this is just a great group of guys, and they love the work. And, like, they definitely going to push every group on the team to be better also. And I feel like just match will be better than their intensity every single week. Like, that's my goal and my focus, and just try to compliment them and help them compliment us any way that we can.
Malcolm, you said you're a fan of that Louisiana Tech offense. I guess it's gonna keep you, that air raid style that they do is gonna keep you guys on the back row a little busy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that fun? You like those challenges?
Yeah, I love it. I want the ball in the air. Like, I love when the ball's in there because I know that that's an opportunity for us, like, to show what we got up on our belts and show what we've been working for. Like, Coach Sweeney calls it the prime time phase, and like, this is where you step up. And prime time is really where you show your work, and playing under the lights is nothing like it in Death Valley. Like, it's definitely a game that we want to focus in and make sure that we have all the little things tightened up and very sharp towards.
I guess it's a random question, but Ruth was telling us earlier that some people compare him to LeBron James, and he's not even a basketball player. I guess, have you seen him play?
I seen Root play, and nobody compares him to LeBron James. But every time Root shoots, he tries to yell Kobe because he just jacks and shoots everywhere. And he doesn't usually make it, but when he starts making them though, he looks like Kobe. But he not. Yeah.
Not Kobe Pace, right? You're
No,
not talking
Kobe
about-
Bryant. Kobe Pace got the left hand though. He pretty good at shooting. Yeah. He pretty good.
Who's the second best?
Nate Wiggins first best me. Ooh, or might be EJ.
They say Cole Turner's pretty good.
Ooh, I forgot about Cole. Cole got here in the summer, and he showed he can really hoop versus better than probably 95% of the roster. But he got some hops on him too. Like, he get up to the rim like it's nothing.
I guess, what are you like as a hooper? I guess, what's your go-to?
I feel like I'm a great leader on teams. I love to shoot. I love to facilitate also. I compare myself like a Derrick Rose. So like, but like, I don't know, like the competitive edge I bring to the court, to the field, I feel like it's unmatched. And I feel like you need a guy on your team that's gonna always just push everybody, bring the energy, and put his best on the table anytime he can. So I feel like on the basketball court, I do that.
Any questions from Zoom for Malcolm?
Yeah, Malcolm, Trevor from CUTigers.com. You played for the same high school as Kayvon Wallace. He was also a very versatile player like you are. How much of a factor did he play in your recruitment, and do you still keep in touch with Kayvon?
Yeah, I definitely still keep in touch with Kayvon on a weekly basis. Like, that's like my brother, and we knew each other for some good years now. And I feel like, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, how much of a role did he play in your recruitment?
Kayvon played a huge role in my recruitment also. He really, him and his family, like seeing them go through the process of being Clemson Tigers and him harping on me about how I know that this is a great place and this is really a place for me, but him harping like the things that they can bring outside of football for you, and like the intangible wealth that the coaches bring to the table, and like their care for you outside of the game, it's unmatched. You won't find anywhere like that in the country, really. We have a group of guys that have a strong love for each other and really never want to give up on each other, but you have staff members that match that energy also and put belief in you and try to help you sharpen yourself to be the best man every day.
Thanks a lot, Malcolm.
Thank you.
Anybody else for Malcolm?
Malcolm, as you go through the building here, go back in there, everything's designed around, I mean, to the outside, it looks like everything's designed around competition.
Yes.
You all get that as players, the way that Coach Sweeney's kind of designed this to kind of keep you folks focused in everything you all do?
Yeah, I feel like Sweeney does a great job with keeping things on the wall that just help us have a fresh mind and keep the main thing really. Like everybody has to have a mindset to where they want to maximize their effort every single play, and he blesses us with having things on the wall we can just read around the building that keep us with a great focus also, and everybody having to develop their competitive edge all day, every day while they're in the building, seeing the guys that can match your athletic ability, and going out and practice. You might have a hard day in practice, but you go in the building, you might read something on the wall that just change your mood, change your whole day for you. And I feel like that's really big when cultivating a program of success and leadership and competitive edge. Like, I feel like that's really good.
Arcade area, what's your go-to?
I like to do bowl a little bit, but I feel like I'm real good on Madden and the basketball game. But EJ, he really like took over on the basketball game. He's like, you're not gonna beat the high school. Like, I'm gonna do that before I leave.
I guess you're talking about just mood and competition. I think Coach Reed was saying that during practice, not necessarily trash talk, but you talk the entire time. If you're not talking, it's a problem. So, where does that come from? That desire to want to talk?
I don't know, it's just like the love that I have for this game is like, it runs deep. Like, been through a lot playing football, I've learned a lot playing football, and the work that I put in on the off season, like, and the work that I see my teammates put in also. Like, I gotta make sure that I hold myself and everybody else to the standard to just put their best foot forward. Like, harping on guys to finish and try harder, do more, and pull those things for myself, verbally, mentally, and all of that. I feel like that plays a big part in developing a team, developing a group, and bringing togetherness between the young guys and the older guys on the team. Just holding everybody to that same standard. But like the work that we put in on the off season, you don't expect it to go any way other than good. But when it does go other ways, like making sure that everybody has positive things in their head and making sure I'm bringing positivity to the group, that's real big to me. And just pushing myself all day. Like, we work for this and we're gonna reap the reward.
Malcolm, I know last year, Coach Sweeney talked a lot about being physical outside, like physical, and Mario and Andrew doing that. How do you feel like y'all have done so far with that this year?
I feel like we've done a really good job. All of our corners put their weight up, and like we've gained some weight in the off season, but we've developed our speed really good also. And just buying into the weight room program, we all have just been developing as athletes and becoming a lot more physical and stronger. And I feel like we've been doing really good on the outside with like holding up against screens and perimeter plays to where we feel like we can physically compete with anybody in the country. And we work hard to be able to hold ourselves to that standard every week. And we call ourselves 200. Like, that's the goal weight for most of our corners. Like, to be 200 pounds or anything range between 193 and 200. And like, when you hold that name 200, like, that means a lot. Like, everybody on the team, if you do something soft, like, they gonna say that ain't 200. Like, that ain't y'all. So we just hold our stuff to a high standard, and I feel like you have to do that in every aspect of the game.
Anyone else for Malcolm? All right,
Yeah,
thanks,
one
Malcolm.
more for me.
Oh, go ahead, we have one more.
Sorry, I was gonna say Coach Goodwin was talking about needing to not give up so many easy plays in the secondary and not give up so many quick, easy completions. How do you try to keep that from happening?
Tightening down the coverage, definitely. I feel like we have some guys that can run with really any receiver. So I feel like just tightening up the coverage and playing a little more press, but just having a lot of variety in what we do, but making sure that we're real tight in our coverage and reading our keys really well. I feel like that'll be a major part in us developing along the season and throughout these games, just making sure that we're getting better and better as each play goes on in practice and in the games, and we're learning from our mistakes. But we have to have a great focus for this week and every week to come.
All right, thanks, Malcolm.
Thank
DJ.